is time for Law or Not, where we have local legal experts help answer your questions about the law.
And you know, we have just the friends to help us do that for you. We got Donnie and Ken here from the Advocates, a law firm. Hello.
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 Good to see you. Okay.
Good to be here.
So we have some really great questions. We want to jump right in. So I'm going to toss the first one out at you. You ready? Okay. Here's the first question. It is about insurance, and the person wrote, quote, I was a passenger in a vehicle that was struck from the side by someone turning left from the middle lane. The damages were to the passenger fender, rim, and suspension. I had minor neck pain and went to the doctor, was prescribed muscle relaxers. Now, the insurance offering $1,500 for a payout for pain and suffering sounds reasonable. However, my newborn was in the car, which caused quite a disturbance to our family, and we are still nervous driving. Should I contact a lawyer?
What's cool, this one was finally right in our wheelhouse. The answer is
Yay.
probably yes. They should contact a lawyer. They certainly shouldn't take the $1,500, even if they don't choose to call a lawyer. It's just too soon. You don't know how your body's really going to react, and lots of things are going on. Just give yourself a beat to heal or not heal and know what you're really settling for before you take any amount from anybody. And when an insurance company is saying they're offering a reasonable amount to somebody who's uninsured, I promise the chances of that being reasonable are almost zero.
Interesting.
Yeah, I feel like often with this whole world, you know, people want to assume that you want to just finish quickly, but oftentimes there's a big, long process.
Yeah, and who knows if the muscle relaxers don't work and you have to get more care, you have to go to physical therapy, maybe a chiropractor, maybe you have a herniated disc and the treatment just gets a lot more complicated. So I think in Washington State, we have a 3-year statute of limitations. So you have a long time to figure out, okay, what care do you actually need and what is fair compensation for your pain and suffering in relation to that accident. Once you settle, you sign the release, you accept that check, you can't get further compensation in relation to those injuries. So it's really important to just pause and make sure you know what actually happened to you.
Take a beat, yeah. The next question says, I had to call my old ophthalmologist to get files faxed over to my new one, and the employee that handles the faxing messaged me on Facebook and hit on me. This is the second time I've dealt with harassment from this hospital from their employees. Is there any actual recourse that this place could face? I feel like I can't call any of my doctor's offices without something sketchy or outright illegal occurring.
Wow.
What do you think?
Such a violation of privacy.
Right?
Yeah, yeah. So the person that violated this individual's privacy should be immediately terminated. They should not have the privilege to see personal information and then use that for their own personal gain. That's terrible. I think this individual should call the hospital, ask for a patient account supervisor, let them know what happened. Hopefully this individual gets terminated, and really what you would be doing by calling is preventing this from happening to you again and the next person. Odds are that you aren't the only one affected by this individual.
I keep thinking of all of these young employees that are Gen Z, and all they're really seeking is value, purpose, and love. And so here, but jokes aside, there's a HIPAA law that is out there to prevent that. And it says 3 things. First of all, they have to keep this stuff private, meaning they're only going to use it for health, to make you better, to work on your health services. Second, they have to have security measures in place to make sure that it doesn't get breached. And then when a breach does happen like this, they have to report it both to the person whose information it is, and I mean that obviously, but also to the government. And so, yeah, this is pretty bad. Something like that happening, I mean, that person would be so gone.
So obviously, like, this is so unwanted. What if, flip side, you are interested in dating someone when you're visiting the doctor? What kind of precautions are you supposed to take in that situation? Not asking for myself. Just saying.
Mutual consent is usually the right answer there.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's an interesting take for sure. We do have one more question, if that's all right. So, okay, let's take a look at it here. The local grocery store Buy Me, which is a large brand, is consistently inflating prices at the register. Prices displayed on the shelves are regularly less than what is being charged up front. Is there anything I can do?
So the first thing I think about is let's go back to the basics. So is the computer plugged in? Did we restart it? So there are some things that will change a sticker price at the time of when you're checking out at the register. Sure. Obviously sales tax, that's just been going up indefinitely. And then the other is the value card price. So like when you're a club card member, you get a lower price. And then if you're not, we've all been in the wine aisle, we see that great price on that bottle of wine we want, and then we realize we have to buy 6 bottles, and then we're walking out with 6 bottles on a Tuesday. So that's the first thing to think about here.
That felt like maybe you've experienced that.
Too many times.
The thing I see here is they say consistently and regularly charging more to the consumer. Most of the studies have found that when there's errors, and they do happen, but they're supposed to happen less than 2% of the time. But when there is errors, usually they're in the favor of the consumer and not the store. But if they're in the store's favor, then you should just let the cashier know. And almost always, they will just go to the lower price. I mean, they don't have to, so you can't just, gotcha yourself a Honda for $1.25 or something like that. But as long as it's reasonable, and they'll almost always go to the lower price.
Sometimes I'll take like a picture of it too, just in case if it seems like too good to be true.
I was about to say, to be honest, I don't really look that closely. So really, I mean, yes, important to take a look, especially if it's a good deal. And how much you save if you become like a club member. That's kind of shocking to me as well.
Always the move.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well, Donnie and Ken from The Advocates, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good to be here always.
Such an interesting chat today. And don't forget, you can submit your legal questions to us on social media. You can find us on any platform at Studio 13 on Fox. Coming up.